And now for our final speaker of the night, they will share a deep personal journey about being a single mother and raising two autistic children, reminding us that even in life's most challenging moments, there is hope. With you all, Andrea.
Thank you. Thank you. People often say that life is written for us in clear, bold sentences. Milestones, timelines, expectations. But my life, our life, has been written between the lines. I am a single mother of two little boys, Mateo and Noah. They are 2 and 3 years old. They are brilliant, exhausting, beautiful, and uniquely their own, and they are both autistic. Before I ever knew the kind of mother I would become, before I ever held Mateo or Noah in my arms, my journey into motherhood began with loss. A quiet loss, the kind many women carry but rarely speak about. Small, yet anything but small. But there were no big announcements, but there was already love. The first miscarriage shook me in ways I wasn't prepared for. How do I grieve something I've never held? A future I had only just began to imagine. How do I mourn what your heart had already claimed? Months later, the second one came and somehow hurt even more. It didn't hurt. Because the second one didn't just bring grief, it brought fear, questions whispered through tears. Can I even carry a child of my own? Between doctors' visits, forced strength, I carried doubt. I questioned my body and I questioned myself. That kind of pain lives quietly, in the waiting, in the silence, in the prayers that no one else hears. When I finally carried my boys, I held on to every hope even tighter, because I had already learned how deeply you can love someone you've barely met. When I was pregnant with Mateo, I imagined the same future every mother imagines. Tiny soccer cleats by the door, first footsteps before his first birthday, tiny sticky hands reaching up to me, and one day hearing the word mama. I held on to that word like a promise, not knowing motherhood would still be beautiful even if it sounded differently. But life doesn't always follow the script we write for it, and reality sometimes forces you to confront the future you had imagined. When Mateo was 9 months old, I found out I was pregnant with Noah. Becoming a single mother was never a part of my plan. I wanted the perfect family, and I thought that if I just wanted it enough, I could make it real. I could smooth over the cracks and hold everything together. But wanting it wasn't enough from keeping it from falling apart. But those are the dark moments that no one really talks about. The ones that happen between the lines, the moments where mothers say that they're staying for their children. When sometimes the real fear is the unknown, the fear of stepping into something beyond what they think they can handle. I've lived in that space for a while, between doubt, between denial, between hoping things would change but knowing deep in my heart they probably wouldn't. Between shrinking myself and telling myself that I was being strong. And finding out that I was pregnant with Noah hit me hard. I remember looking at Mateo and realizing that if I stayed, this would become their normal. And that was the moment that I woke up. Not because I wasn't afraid, but because I was afraid of what staying would have taught my children. And so I packed 2 bags, I held my 9-month-old baby, I carried my pregnancy, and I put my faith in God and in the unknown. I left Nevada with nothing but the hope and courage to choose a better life for what was left of my picture-perfect family. I had lost myself in that relationship. My voice, my confidence, the sense of who I was, and staying would have costed me more than starting over ever could. When I walked away, I had nothing. No savings of my own, no certainty, no home of my own. I couch surfed between my mother's and my grandmother's home, just trying to rebuild my life one day at a time. I didn't know then that the journey ahead would look different. Not the picture perfect I had in mind, but something written between the lines of loss and love. I knew that my children were meant to be here. What I did have were my 2 little boys and the choice to step into the unknown and fight for their safety, their healing, and a future for all of us. Mateo, my oldest, was diagnosed with a level 3 autism. He is quiet, reserved, intentional. He lines up his toys with care and precision and prefers to play in the safety of his own quiet world. And then there's Noah, my tornado, diagnosed with a level 2 autism. He is fearless, energetic, and always on the move. He brings the kind of chaos only a toddler can bring. He's exactly like his mama in all the ways that keep me on my toes. Both of my boys are nonverbal, and because of that, they have taught me how to listen in ways I never knew were possible. One thing many parents take for granted, something so small it often goes unnoticed, is hearing their child talk to them, hearing their name spoken back to them, hearing mama and knowing it means you. Meanwhile, I wake up every day hoping and praying that my child would one day associate that word with me. Not just fumble it, not just let it fall out like sounds without meaning, but know it and know it means me. For a long time, that silence broke my heart. Mateo took his first steps a little after he turned 2 years old, and Noah followed right after him. But I am still patiently waiting to hear mama. And I'll be honest, there were moments where I was quietly jealous of parents with what the world calls normal kids. Kids who speak without concerns, kids who meet their milestones without concerns or applause. I asked myself the question many parents were afraid to say out loud, and it was why me and why mine? Acceptance didn't come quickly. It came slowly, painfully, and vulnerably. Until one day I realized that maybe God didn't choose me by accident. Maybe I was chosen because these challenges would test my strength, stretch my heart, and teach me to love beyond expectations. Because autism doesn't come with subtitles. It comes with pauses, with silence, with moments where the world assumes something is missing, when really a different kind of story is being told. The hardest part hasn't been their diagnosis. It's been the comments, like, they don't look autistic. Your boys still drink out of a bottle, or they're the looks. The stares in the grocery aisles, when my toddlers are overstimulated, when they are screaming, kicking, covering their ears, collapsing under the weight of the world that is too fast and too loud for them. People see behavior, and I see communication. As a single mother, every decision carries weight, from therapies to appointments to education to finances. There is no backup plan. There is just me learning to adjust and adapt to a world that does not always understand families like mine. Autism has taught me patience when I want answers, strength when I feel invisible, and control and surrender when control is no longer an option. Because life with autism happens between the lines, between the missed milestones, between the silence, between the moments that people overlook. That is where I find hope. And tomorrow with my boys may always be a mystery, not because they lack potential, but because their life unfolds on mine. And no matter how often people tell me I need to teach my boys, the truth is I am learning from them just as much as they are learning from me. Eventually, my boys will talk. Eventually, they will become exactly who they are meant to be. And no matter what that looks like, I will always be one proud mama. Because one thing I can say with certainty, without hesitation, is that my children are just as capable, just as worthy, and just as extraordinary as any other child. And somewhere in the middle of surviving, leaving, rebuilding, and raising my 2 children with autism as a single mother, I found myself again. Today I am back in school. Last semester was my first step into the world of communication, a space where Professor Baker, Professor Giacalone, and Professor Alatorre didn't just teach me, they heard my voice, they recognized me as more than just a single mother of 2 children with autism. They challenged me, they encouraged me, and they reminded me that my voice truly mattered. And in those moments, I realized something important, is that communication isn't just about being heard. It's about helping others find their voice too. And that realization changed everything. It's one of the reasons why I'm continuing my education to become a communications professor. Because one day I want to be that voice for someone else, for someone who helps others feel seen, heard, and understood just as I finally was. Because communication just isn't just about words. It's about empathy, meaning, and meaning beyond what's being spoken. My children may be nonverbal, but they are the greatest communicators I know. They have taught me that silence can speak, that difference is not deficiency, and that living between the lines of every story, no matter how painful and no matter how uncertain things may be, there is always hope. Before I leave tonight, there are 2 people in this room that I cannot end my story without acknowledging. Because the truth is, no transformation happens alone. And sometimes it begins with someone who simply believes in you even before you fully believe in yourself. Tonight, I want to recognize 2 professors. It was originally 3, but one of them called out sick today. I want to recognize these professors who have had a lasting impact on not only my life, but the life of their many students. With great appreciation, please help me welcome Miss Shelley and Miss Alatorre. Surprise! I think after many years of you hosting this event for many students like myself who have gone through so much and carry thick skin, even though our skin has scars, and you see us and you hear us, and as a mother myself who goes to your class crying because I don't know what tomorrow will look like, it deserves, I don't even have the words to express the gratitude that if I carry it, I know thousands of other students here. They feel it, they know it. And I am here today as living proof that there are amazing people in the world. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh my gosh, I'm speechless. Very good.